This is a podcast presented by
Hard to Find Media.
Subscribe to Hard to Find Media on youtube.com/hardtofindmedia network. This shit is free. Share it. Blast it.
It's Tady's Day Out.
Boy, we were excited. You can sense it.
He had a whole block of brie last night. That's really good. Coming back to get him.
What it would be like to be not on a Ferris wheel, but a great wheel.
So we are now rotating.
So how do you feel about buskers?
I'm pretty into buskers.
You are.
I am.
Here's the deal with salads.
We'll get to the baking of a cake.
It's a little boring, kind of.
Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Tady's Day Out. Welcome back, old listeners. Welcome back to all the old listeners out there. And for you young listeners who are just tuning in, this is a podcast where I deliver an irreverent and comedic review of all the best attractions Seattle has to offer. For those who have listened before, that's probably the best I've ever pronounced the word attractions. They seem to have a weird way of saying it. Each time I listen to the recording of it or I'm editing, I'm like, oh, God, I seem to... Attractions. Anyway, this episode was a pleasure to do. This week I went to MoHI, the Museum of History and Industry, with Amy Kotlow and Tim Neal. Tim returning, Amy's first episode, and it was an absolute blast. I know you guys are going to really enjoy the episode. Before I get to that, I just want to say, thanks for listening. This is a small podcast, a local podcast, and if you're into things like that, there are some awesome local shows out there. There's the show that I used to do with Danny Noonan, Accidents on Purpose. Can introduce you to a lot of DIY art and music. There's the Hard to Find Media Network, which is run by Mike Pelly. He has podcasts of his own and puts a lot of ours on YouTube to help people find them. You can find that there, and it will link you to a lot of other cool shows. And there's a new one I found called Talking About the Passion with Thomas Irwin, and I highly recommend checking it out. It is also about music, but it's like all the artists I didn't know previously. And you can find him on, or that show, on iTunes and SoundCloud, Talking About the Passion. And I know he makes music too, I think under the name Niagara Moon. So he knows what he's talking about. Yeah. So thanks for listening to that plug. Without further ado, here is the episode. Hi guys, welcome.
Hi.
With me today I have Amy Kotlow. Amy.
It's me.
And I have Tim Neal back again.
Thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm really happy to have you back. Tim Block couldn't be here with us.
Yep.
He's passed on to another opportunity. He passed on the opportunity to be here.
Right.
So he couldn't be with us, but we
Quite
didn't.
suddenly, too.
Yeah, he passed very suddenly on this opportunity. That's pretty true.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of fun. We went to MoHI, and I'm so excited to recount this Seattle adventure for our listeners.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a MoHI.
Now,
Lord.
what does MoHI stand for?
That's a great question. Amy, I don't know.
Museum.
Of
History.
And
industry.
Whoa!
so I work in the industry, so that's why we went.
Yeah, she's in the industry. The one industry.
Yeah.
She works for Boeing.
Yes.
I would love to start at the beginning. As listeners may have gleaned, I like to paint a picture of the day out that we had. This isn't just about reviewing Seattle landmarks.
Mm-hmm.
This is about...
Your day out.
It's about a day out.
A day in the life.
It's a day in the life.
Yep.
Sorry for that, but yeah.
Yeah, we got lunch.
We started out with a nice
We
lunch.
had lunch. Well, before that,
There's some drama around getting lunch,
Yeah,
but we
there was
eventually got it.
There was a whole kerfuffle.
This is the
morning.
most dramatic day out that this podcast has ever experienced.
It was. I would say it was a text thread that really challenged our friendship.
I would say it stressed me out a little bit.
I would agree.
That had stressed him out.
But
I felt stressed.
but that's also because tone of voice. I don't know if people know this, but you can't hear tone of voice in text.
Right.
And I do give you the benefit of the doubt, but I had 2 sets of plans today, a day out and a thing with my band, and it was getting squished on me time-wise.
Yep.
Because one of my...
Yeah, you got squished on.
I got squished on.
Yeah.
Which is actually one of my favorite things. I'm into squish play.
Yeah.
But...
We hammered it out though.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know.
look at us.
Look at us.
I mean, I think I thought you guys were together for part of our text exchange, then I realized maybe you weren't. That you would be.
Do you want to know which
communicating
one it
offline.
was?
I'm happy not knowing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's ignorance is... What do they say? Bliss?
Yes.
Yeah, they say that.
Yep.
So then we did eventually,
We
put
met
that to
up.
rest, put it to the side, decided friendship is best,
Yep.
and we met up at Mammoth.
Mammoth on East Lake.
Yeah, which is in a neighborhood that's about 1.5 miles away from where we live, which is a big deal
Yeah, for Capitol Hillers.
Yes.
to leave
Yes.
the area.
So Amy previously took me to this sandwich shop, which, hey, these sandwiches can be salads too. And, hey, let's not fool the listener. And I fell in love with this place. And I thought it would be great to start out our day there. Tim, did you enjoy it?
I had the time of my life.
Yeah.
I mean, you said the sandwiches were good, and they delivered. They were delicious.
Oddly, they don't deliver.
They don't deliver.
Yeah.
It was exceptional sandwich. Really good homemade potato chips.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a surprise. You're getting this sandwich and they're like, oh, P.S., here's your really cute paper bag of homemade
Yeah.
potato chips before
Yeah.
you go sit down.
that you don't even have to put down.
Yeah,
if you don't want
you can hold the bag in the air, like with your hand in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's chips in it and
Like a
you're still
glove.
talking.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then sometimes, like, if you need to, like, rest your hand somewhere, you can put
Right.
the bag that's over your hand on your cheek.
I like to call it a chip mitten, otherwise known as a chipton. I'll work
Yeah.
on that.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
Maybe
cut that one
next
out.
I'll workshop on that.
Yeah,
I'll
work that one out.
I'll
of
bleep-
the show.
Post production.
I'm gonna bleep that word, but leave all of this in.
I will say as well that we rolled into that experience. I was 1 Negroni deep, which it was a Nordstrom not secret bar, but bar I had not previously known about Negroni, and so it
Yeah.
felt just like I'm in a department store a little drunk.
Yeah.
That's what they
but-
want, though.
Yeah,
what they
and, like,
want.
also earning triple points.
The bar at Nordstrom, which also, this is another Seattle landmark for the record. This
Yeah.
is Store One.
Right.
Yeah. My friend used to work at Nordstrom. It's called Store One.
Yes.
It's a whole deal. We'll talk about it later.
Wow, yeah.
But
Their demographic is actually 1 Negroni deep. Customers.
1 Negroni deep, gay men
Yeah.
and white women.
Yeah.
I felt like, I mean, I've been in Nordstrom downtown a few times, but I felt like this time I was, like, meeting you guys on the ground level. That was for men. And then I felt like
Yeah, that was-
the other 3 or 4 floors were for women.
Yes.
That's
the
fair.
men's stuff is all in one place.
Yeah. And I was like, not fair.
I was asking someone about the Nordstrom bar, and I was like, well, what floor? You're like, oh, the floor, like, up on 3 or 4 by the da-da-da section. And I was like, I only go to the one floor for men.
Yeah.
Because men.
Because men.
Because men.
Anyway,
Yeah.
fast forward. Eating my guts out at Mammoth.
Oh, God. We ate our guts
That's
out.
a phrase, right?
So, even though Tim Block couldn't join us, he was kind enough to give us a ride there.
Yeah.
Kind
I don't know.
is he made us listen to some
What was
Oliver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the songs. He was very, very into it. You know
what
what?
was the one line? Something about
Food.
we love food.
Yeah, we love food.
Yeah. Yeah. In a British.
Hello.
song. Yeah.
Well,
food.
why don't we just let you guys take a listen?
Yeah.
Unyielding.
Stubborn.
Does this song give you the chills?
Huh?
Does this song give you
Oh
the
my
chills?
god! Fucking tandem bike drive slower.
Turn left here.
At Yale Avenue East.
Yeah.
E-break it.
Food on the table.
Food in our bellies, food on
in
the
my
table.
mouth, food out my butt.
Food if you're able.
Yeah.
Cain and Abel. That was a Cain and Abel reference, yeah.
Yeah.
People don't know that. But finally we got out of that hellhole and headed into Mohai. When we went in...
Well, we had Katy Perry afterwards for about like 40 seconds, which was nice.
It was nice to get a little more pumped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sort of center
Sorry,
ourselves.
did you just say you got pumped up with Katy Perry?
I was honestly trying to just say yes and to you, but if you want to get into it, I didn't like that song.
Okay.
But that's for our Katy Perry podcast that we've started.
For any listeners,
yeah.
There's a little bit of relationship drama playing out right
now. So we went into Mohai, and it was a pretty embarrassing experience buying our tickets, but mostly just for Tim Neal.
I mean, let's talk about the tickets are $19.95.
Right, not
plus
$20.
tax.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So, but you were trying to get a discount with your... You know,
I will say one thing that changed for this experience was that Joe picked up the tab.
I mean, it felt like...
Which I now feel kind of guilty about.
It felt like I should after the shame of what... I feel like we
know.
both felt shame in this transaction.
We did, yes.
I felt fine.
Yeah.
I felt fine.
Wow. That's so brave.
Good
for you. Yeah.
So Tim Neal experienced shame.
Yeah.
When he was like, "Oh, maybe I can get a discount because you're a SAM member."
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Sam's Club, which is what I would initially think.
Sure. Yes.
He brought out his Sam's Club card.
Seattle Art Museum.
He was trying to buy tickets in bulk.
And I just thought maybe.
And the person selling tickets was like, "Well."
Well, I thought the museums have like a guild or an alliance where you can, it's like a all
Yeah, I mean,
access.
it depends on how much money you make. That's how the alliance works.
Yeah, it also makes it sound like Survivor.
I don't know.
It's starting to lie.
I don't judge.
That's true. You don't judge.
I'm just trying to go to the museum.
But you were told that you couldn't get a discount.
It said only if you have the gold star on your card.
Yeah, there was some
and
kind of gold sticker.
And you didn't.
No gold sticker. Okay.
It's like one of their higher memberships, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Mine's
So,
definitely
yeah.
basic bitch level.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah. Super embarrassing. A gold star on your arm.
Right.
Was it?
Yeah, they said only if you're wearing the armband with the Star of
Yeah.
David.
Yes.
Too soon. Too fucking soon.
I'm Jewish.
Yeah. Hey, Octan.
Not
Ooh.
culturally, just blood.
Yeah, just blood. Hey, blood is thicker than... so, let's refocus. So, blood is thicker than semen.
Yeah. Some semen.
Semen as in the wooded boats area.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow, we are just...
We made it in to the museum.
Did we?
So we did. We finally got in. That whole ticket debacle was behind us, and I have to say, I was initially and overall pretty impressed with it. I expected it to be a little less visually appealing.
It's a really beautiful space.
Yeah,
Beautiful space. The facilities are really clean and bright.
yeah. Lots of color and a lot
Big,
of
open, multiple story
yeah.
atrium. Not an atrium, but like it's an old...
There were a lot of birds in there.
There were a lot of birds.
Yeah. Apparently, there's a huge history of birds, and they just kind of let them in.
Yeah. Yep.
But there's a lot of interactive things as well, which was really fun.
And we were first drawn to the
neighborhood
screen. Yeah, the neighborhood. Take a questionnaire and see what
Yeah.
perfect neighborhood in
Yep.
Seattle
What neighborhood is
your
best for
neighborhood.
you?
Yeah.
What do you fear most? And it's like credit card denied or...
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Which I do fear that.
I do too. It's
Yeah.
embarrassing.
It's
It's
really
almost as embarrassing as like trying to get a discount on tickets, but like
Yeah,
not having
yeah.
a gold star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a weird... Because you're like, no, my card, I really do have money. And
I
then the
just
person's
used...
like...
I love I just used it, and then the person's like,
Let me
well,
show you
maybe...
my bank statement.
Yeah, maybe it got frozen. You know, like,
Yeah.
it's like they're trying
And then
to...
you're
meet
like
you halfway.
going through your mind, what did I buy? Did someone have my card?
But they know you're broke, you know,
Yeah.
and that, like, you shouldn't be shopping.
Yeah.
But you did
You-
just go to Nordstrom.
You're like using Purell to put in your face.
Mouth?
Yeah.
It's like, you did kind of go at your mouth. There's a hand gesture.
I was like taking a drink with Purell. You know,
Yeah.
just-
Yeah.
A little Purell shot.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Anyway.
we got a little distracted. The screen was freezing, a little glitchy.
kinda glitchy.
It was really pretty though. And then I also felt like there's a lot of
There's
questions.
so many fucking questions.
I thought it'd be like 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was like 15.
It was too much.
And there were so many, like, I don't know, I just didn't care by the end.
Yeah, so we started picking like random ones.
Just like the easiest.
Whatever ones it would choose and not glitch out on.
Yeah. And then we ended up, it was like neighborhood best for you, Capitol Hill.
Yeah, neighborhood you shouldn't live in, Bainbridge Island. Wow, I could have told you that.
Didn't need a questionnaire to figure out not living on Bainbridge.
Bingo!
Just so everyone knows, we all live on Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This studio is in the heart of my apartment. Shit.
It's his apartment.
Oh, God.
It's his apartment.
Oh, fuck. There's some, okay, look.
We moved in here together, but it's his apartment.
I oftentimes say my apartment, and it is a huge point of contention in our relationship.
Make sure you leave this in the podcast.
Oh, I'm leaving it in. Oh, I'm leaving it in.
I mean, I like bought a dildo for Tim, but I call it my dildo. Yeah.
Hey, Tim, can I borrow my dildo?
Borrow?
Yeah. I'll give it.
Wow, bravo. Amy is drinking a...
Hey, why are you trying to blame that on me?
Local beer.
It could have been anyone.
Fremont Lush IPA.
It's very good.
We're only allowed to drink local beer. Thank you.
I feel like the name of the beer is kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy today for you.
Hella lush.
Hella Lush.
I don't normally sound like this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're feeling a little sick. You said you got the itis.
Thank you.
The bronchitis.
I will say
I'm
that
a
when we
doctor.
got to Mohai, I was feeling kind of the Negroni followed by IPA at Mammoth.
Yeah.
So I was kind of cruising in.
Yeah, we all came in high energy.
Yep. You had just had pounded a Stumptown cold brew.
Yeah. Thanks for
Yeah.
really.
And you like threw the bottle on the cement and it shattered. It was
Right.
crazy.
Yeah. In front of a bunch of kids, and one of the pieces hit a baby.
Yeah, it was hot.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
So yeah, we all kind of rolled in like we got in, we're looking at the things. Fuck that little weird table about the neighborhoods. So then I think that energy kind of just carried us for the first while.
It did.
For the first third.
Yeah.
Yes.
We crashed. We'll get to that in a second. We did really enjoy that sculpture, that huge sculpture
like
that was.
It was like a vertical glory hole maze.
It was hundreds of glory holes for any height and dick size
and penis size.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that it was for any penis size.
Up to small ones.
In terms of diameter,
Yeah.
which is maybe like an inch. And
Length,
a half.
any, preferably long.
Yeah, and narrow.
But it was made from wood from like one of the first ships that brought people here. Was that right? Or like
I don't know.
Something having to do with Seattle.
Yeah,
I mean,
something having right. Yes.
This is how
I found
closely we
I
paid attention.
was like surprised at how much how much things there had to do with Seattle. I thought I'm just kidding.
It was crazy.
That's
there
a
were
joke.
Airplanes.
Yeah.
You were surprised?
Yeah. I didn't know it'd be about Seattle.
Museum.
Yeah.
Amy at one point did say, you would not like this museum if you were not from Seattle. Or something to that effect.
Yeah, I just feel like, I don't know, there's like a lot of context and like a lot of details, like talking about the Denny's. Like if I didn't live here, I wouldn't be like, that one lookout on 15th across from the cemetery is named after Louisa
Boren.
Louisa Boren.
Who married something, Daniel Denny?
Definitely Denny. I don't know his first name.
Yeah.
Philip Denny.
Like, yeah, if I was from like out of Seattle, I'd be like,
I'd be like,
Denny, a
great
great chain restaurant that I love to go to.
Yeah.
Is that where they
named
named
over
it
my
after?
hammy?
Yeah. I see, as a lover of like history and industry, but seriously, I'm like, I find details like that really interesting. So I do feel like it is catering to an audience that
I don't love history.
I know you don't.
Why do you love history so much?
Because we're doomed to repeat it. No. No, I don't know. I find it.
Did you study history?
I was like self-study. I've read a lot of history, I guess, and it's always been my favorite subject. I don't know. I really didn't spend much time in college, only a few quarters, but I love it, love it, love it.
That's tight. I read that book Undaunted Courage once, which was about like the Lewis and Clark expedition.
Oh yeah, I heard that's really good.
It's like OG Washington discovery.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you saw a lot of that history in the museum today?
There was a map after we ascended to the second floor.
Mm-hmm.
We went into kind of the Native American zone of the museum, or that's how it was branded. I don't know if
Right, that's kind of how it. I mean, the timeline was fairly straightforward. It started there and moved forward from like the Native American history into the cultivation of the city of Seattle.
But there was a map that showed like Washington as Washington and the state of Idaho today, but it was all Washington. And I was like, man, those were the days.
Oh, right, yeah. And it met up with the Nebraska territory, which was pretty much up to Montana. Yeah, that I didn't know. I didn't know that went that far. And, that was interesting. And then one of my favorite things about it was there was an exhibit thing that showed you could press these different buttons and it would raise and lower the land and how much the city has been changed physically by man to like push land into the sea.
And women.
You're right.
He's right.
You're right. I'm so sorry. I just don't.
That's fine.
Respect.
I just feel like in 2017, you know, I'm just like
it's 2017, like politically correct.
People like by men and women, or you know, your apartment. Or
it's my apartment and like your kitchen.
Sorry,
Yep.
I love you and respect you so much. Just for the listeners, this is a total joke.
Yeah, I know, it's for you guys.
Yeah,
it's a total joke.
I just want to be clear, like for listeners, like wow, what a dick.
We have a very loving relationship.
No, but I found that really interesting because I didn't realize how much men and women had changed and added, like they straightened the Duwamish River and pretty much added all of Harbor Island, which was not there. And
which is not really a place anyone goes to.
No, but generally. Ships do. And
Ships
do. Shipping, Ship Canal.
Any other things you can think of?
West Seattle.
With the word ship in it?
Fremont Bridge. UPS Shipping.
Yep. USPS.
Yes, USPS. Yep. Don't like them. And that was cool. There's a little video of that thing specifically I just talked about on my Instagram at Tady's Day Out. If you want to follow along, like as we're doing the days out.
An Instagram account?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Have you ever thought about like fucking following me?
That's what. Why'd you told me about it?
Why'd you think I was taking pictures and videos all day of us?
I don't know. Just for like your friendship collection.
No, I don't have many.
Definitely. So you can go on your iPhone photos and play a sad video
when you're missing your friends.
Yeah. So what's the video that you took though? Of what was
the actual
the thing?
Yeah, the thing raising and lowering and the buttons. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was some interactive, you know, Amy took a video of you, like, there was some kind of model of a sawmill.
There were a lot of things, like, wheels to spin that made things happen.
The Yesler sawmill, there's a lot of spinning wheels.
Mm-hmm. There was also a train track that you could, like, hammer and, like, help assemble.
She did air quotes for the listeners that can't see.
Yeah.
Because this is a podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, God. He's been on before.
As a second-time podcaster, I just want to, like, there's some rules of the road.
I don't even remember what I was saying now.
No, so I believe you were getting to that fucking annoying kid.
Yeah, so we were, like, in the other room, and it kind of sounded annoying in the next room.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, that's
it was
exactly.
dank in that room, is what he's trying to say.
Yeah. And then we walked in there, and there was a kid who just started hitting this train track even harder.
He was like, there was a point where
his dad, when we walked in, his dad was like, "Okay, that's enough."
Yeah, like finally stepped, because when we walked in, he got a lot more intense about it in a way that I was uncomfortable with.
Yeah,
and I had to leave the room.
Yeah,
I felt almost inundated. I said this while we were there, but like inundated by information. Like you said, it does get very detailed from the gold rush all the way up through World War I, World War II, like. Kind of every single little thing that happens.
I don't feel like, as a whole, that it's like over. I feel like that's what they should do. You know, if they're charging $20 for people to come in.
It could also be because, as we said, we sort of lost steam. You having been day drinking, I had a thing this morning, and I don't know, I'm tired all the time.
What was your thing? You're being very vague about it.
I don't really want to like talk about. I don't want to be like, oh, I have a band and we did like photo shoots.
Yeah.
It's like,
but you just did.
Yeah, but like that's because she forced me into it. She backed me into a wall, much like the wall we shot the photos against.
Whoa!
Boom! Comedy.
Yeah. So you were like pumped from that.
Comedy. I was pumped. Comedy.
Taking photos. I was
pumped. One of my favorite things that happened, besides that burp, while we were there was you go into this room and there's a thing where you can share your story and they prompt you with like 3 different questions, and one of them was, what would you like to see Boeing invent, and Tim Neal left.
Yeah, it was like a Boeing thing.
It was a Boeing room.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was all Boeing centric.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah, and it was like, what's the best place you've ever been? And like, you get to watch other people's stories. And this kid was like, it was like a 6-second video, and he was like, I love going to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay,
there was a pool and stuff for kids to do.
Yep. That was the kid that went to New Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
Then there was one that was like a couple that were like probably in their 30s or 40s. And like there was clearly music in the background. We were like, oh, there's some kind of corporate event.
Yeah.
And they're at a music and they're drunk.
Yeah.
And they were like, what if we had jetpacks and we could fly around?
Like flirting with each other, like definitely trying to
We
bone.
felt like they were both married.
To other people.
But
like work wife, work
Yeah,
husband.
it was a very Jim Pam kind of dynamic.
It was a Jim Pam. I love that dumpling place.
So yeah, then I recorded a video just to like add to the canon, if you will, of...
It was pretty... It made me laugh, and I want to play the audio for the listener.
Recording?
Yeah, you're live.
And you're live.
It'd be cool if there was like a phone that also was like an iPod and also like could connect to the internet. Like a phone, an iPod, and the web. Like in one.
Yeah.
As one
Yeah.
thing.
That's a good idea.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Yeah.
But I do think that they are going to approve the video before they let.
Do you think they watch it first?
Because we tried to replay it.
Did
Remember?
they?
Yeah, like, do you think there's someone that works for
panel.
Mohai that's in the back that's like...
I would imagine they screen it for like swearing and
penis talk.
Yeah, and dildos.
Yeah, or like fully,
and borrowed
or
dildos.
fully like flashing the camera.
Right, a lot of nudity at Mohai, I noticed.
Yeah.
Actually,
the clientele was mostly
younger
children.
There was children.
kids.
There was an old contingent there.
There was
but
one couple that was our age, and I observed them. I kind of side-eyed them, and they
weren't
both
from
were
here,
wearing
were they?
New Balances.
Not from here.
Each had a separate...
Right.
Yeah, and they were kind of looked very clean cut, and then like they were kind of intensely reading all of the little placards. Which I feel like for me at a museum, I kind of like read half of the thing.
You
skim.
I feel like that kind of brings us to the second third of the excuse me, of our day out today, and that was like less reading, but like still interested.
Yeah.
But just walking a little bit faster.
More picture looking.
Reacting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they did have like, apparently this month is Edible City Month, which is like about restaurants and like the food history. I don't know why I blanked on that.
The sign did say September 2017, so like we also didn't go into that area.
That's what I was about to say. We lost steam and like weren't that interested in it. And
We
sort
looked
of
at the
bypassed.
Edible City like entrance, and I was like, I was literally leaning away from it, and I was like, anyone interested? And he went, look at your body language.
Yeah.
Plus, you had to eat an edible to go in,
Yeah,
and
you had
like
to-
I don't have time to
force-fed
get
edible.
high.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a nap after we're finished recording, and I'm
Wish I could.
very
I have
excited.
to like go to a happy hour, and then I have to go to a thing later.
Yeah, you're drinking.
It's a whole thing. I'm drinking.
What is your thing later?
It's like some dance collective. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, that's almost as embarrassing as taking band photos this morning.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah,
then I feel like at that point, it was really just like, we're here, let's go.
Yeah.
Right?
feel
Like, let's leave.
Yeah, we were kind of just like walking. We went up to the 4th floor.
Yeah.
The Maritime
I liked that
Gallery.
Yeah.
They had an old dive helmet.
Yeah.
I went to like mime being tired at the top of the stairs, and then an old lady was looking at me, and I kind of felt embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like she probably was tired from climbing the stairs,
She looked exhausted.
And like here I was like,
You had your hands on your knees recovering from
my
that
whole life
stare.
ahead of me, you
Yeah.
know, just like being a little insolent.
You should make
bitch.
something of yourself.
Yeah.
Too soon.
We rode the glass elevator down.
I felt like Willy Wonka.
Yeah, that was nice.
There is a cafe there that serves white wine.
Not red.
Not red, white wine. 2 types of Fremont beer in a can. Some food. So
Which we're
toasted
drinking right now.
cheese. Yep. I saw a little cup of tomato soup, so that was a whole scene. Was the cafe?
They have coffee. They had
Coffee.
Soda.
Yes.
Soda water.
Sparkling
Red Bull.
water.
Red Bull.
Red Bull.
But not sugar-free. Not azúcar.
Sin azúcar.
Sin azúcar.
Yeah.
You're
So we were there for like an hour?
Yeah.
An hour?
Was that it?
I think so, yeah.
$20 an hour?
Yeah, I realized.
You could spend like 3 hours there?
I think you definitely could. I really liked it in there. Like, I would...
Would you get married in Mohi?
That's what I was about to say. I would get married in Mohi. I'm Mohi.
Wow.
Well, yeah.
Are you drunk?
Yeah, that was bad. I haven't been
okay.
drinking, but like, I need that nap.
Gotta get that nap.
Gotta get that nap.
Did you say, Amy, that you realized something while you were
Oh, yeah. I was like, oh man, this room is really nice. And I realized it was really nice because it had windows and I could see the sun, and I actually just wanted to be outside.
Oh, the maritime
the
room.
maritime room.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a joke now. The married time room. I'll get married at Mohi. There, nailed it.
Yeah, you get married and then you like you ascend.
Yeah.
And then you come down the glass elevator.
I do like
to an adoring audience.
Wait,
how many
do
times
you-
you've said ascended. Because I want ascend to be a better
Didn't I
person.
just say it once?
No, you said it. That's the second time.
Oh.
This is an edited podcast. Yeah. So in closing, wrapping it up, I think we're at about time here.
Okay.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Would you? I'd like to keep them short and sweet. You know. Would you guys recommend this to out of towners? And would you bring your family there? Like, how do you feel about your experience? And would you do it again? Like, what's going on?
I would recommend it to people who have just moved here.
That's fun.
I don't know. I guess like me, like going somewhere, I don't feel like I need to go to a local history museum to like make that trip complete. If it's a long trip and I don't have, like if I need to fill the time, sure. But I think it's more interesting if you've like just moved here and you're like trying to make this your home and learning about the city.
I think that's really good. Like I would take my dad there, but he, like me, is also like loves history, even if it's very detailed about a specific area or thing. I know that he would enjoy that. So it's I guess it's contextual.
I would go to like a work party there.
Right, and would you flirt with a married
I'd flirt
woman?
with a married man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
But who was like maybe straight. But like, we like work out
Feel
together
that out.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Just
But
feel it out.
he just
And
says he's
record
straight.
some videos.
Yeah.
What kind of videos?
Just like the videos for the Boeing room.
Right,
Yeah.
because you have to sit close, so it's like
Yeah.
a fun excuse to
Yeah.
touch.
Yeah, I would go there for that. I mean, I don't typically like go to museums that much, but it was.
But you have
it
a
was cool.
Sam membership.
There was cool. There was the big Rainier sign at one point. Listen,
Your face, I do wish listeners could have seen Amy's face after that. It was just like
really
I don't know.
bitchy.
Yeah.
Bitchy.
Oh,
Listen,
man.
Tim wanted the Sam membership, and it's just as cheap to get it for 2 people or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's great.
All right, guys, let's wrap it up. This was a great day out. Thank you both
day out.
so much for doing this with me.
Yeah.
It's always great to have a new guest on the podcast, Amy
Pleasure.
and
New.
Tim.
It was so nice to meet you, Amy.
Yeah, it's really nice.
You guys shut the fuck up and let me wrap my podcast up.
What about your apartment?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna wrap my apartment up for you too. Tim, thanks for coming back.
Absolutely.
Listeners, thank you for listening. I'll be back in a week with another very exciting episode. Yeah, make it a great day. Hey, I'm Joe Tady, and I'm here to say it's fun to podcast in a Mohai way.
Hi, I'm Amy.
Hey, I'm Tim Neal, and I'm here to say I got a purple hat and I'm super gay.
Shut the
I don't see gay in you. I just don't see it.
This has been a podcast presented by
Hard to find media.
Subscribe to Hard to Find Media on youtube.com/Hard to Find Media Network. This shit is free. Share it. Blast it. Fuck it.